If this looks different, it's because I'm pre-recording it because I may or may not be on a plane right now. Also, today's theme is Ben Affleck. Okay. First up is Paycheck. This is a 2003 movie starring Ben Affleck. What? Aaron Eckhart, the second one of his, Uma Thurman, Michael C. Hall, and Paul Giamatti. It's based on a Philip K. Dick short story, and you can definitely tell. The basic premise, it's lots of sci-fi things, is essentially Ben Affleck he gets paid to do these jobs and then gets his memory wiped of doing the job and gets a lot of money to do it. It's just really interesting in and of itself. But then there's also more like mystery stuff that goes on, and there's a lot more like heavy sci-fi stuff that happens. And it's really, really solid. I quite enjoyed this movie. It's a very of its time movie. It's very early to mid 2000s sci-fi movie. And that's kind of where its faults are it's just like it relies so much on big action set pieces that they're just ridiculous and don't add anything to the story. When really it's got like that, the base of what this movie is, the Philip K. Dick short story is so interesting and fascinating. There's lots of moral questions and debates there with like what all things that are happening. That they really just need to spend more time thinking and talking about that sort of stuff and debating about that stuff and having character moments around that sort of stuff. And they just don't do it in exchange for these big, crazy, cool motorcycle chase and other silly stuff, which is still entertaining. I did enjoy all of that stuff. It was just kind of over the top. Really, it just needed to slow the hell down and stop being a big action movie. Honestly, it really should have been more like, you can't see it, but Blade Runner 2049, that's the poster that's right there. It really needed to be more like that. But it was still really enjoyable. I quite liked it. I was so surprised by how much I enjoyed it. I was expecting to kind of trash this movie, but no, it was good times. It was good times. So if you want, be prepared for a very 2000s action movie, but like if you want some nice sci-fi stuff, this is great. And it's a good mystery too. I was surprised with how much I kind of remembered from the mystery stuff, because I saw it in theaters, I think. But it's a good mystery. I think it would actually make for a great premise for a video game. Just kind of, if you've seen the movie, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Just like all the like, I can't explain it without spoiling it, but yeah, it's good. It's good. It's solid. I definitely recommend this one if you're in the mood for this type of thing. But yeah, it's good. Next up is The Town. This is a 2010 movie starring Ben Affleck. What? Rebecca Hall, John Hamm, my second one of his, Jeremy Renner, and Blake Lively. This was also directed by Ben Affleck. I remember when this movie came out, it was like a big deal, won a bunch of awards and stuff. And I don't get why. So the basic premise is, if you've ever seen a movie that has bad guys as the main character, like criminals who steal stuff, and then there's cops that are coming after them, you've seen this movie, because it does literally everything that all of those movies ever do. Like I don't think it does anything original or new. It is entertaining. It kept my attention. I liked, the actors in it. But wow, is it not even kind of original? So I don't know how the hell this movie won a bunch of awards, especially Jeremy Renner. Like, he got Best Supporting Actor. What? If any of the actors deserved to win an award, it would be Rebecca Hall. She did really solid in this. So many great emotional scenes, and she deserved awards, not Jeremy Renner. I don't know what that's about. It was fine. I put it in the liked category. It was definitely competent filmmaking. I just don't give a shit about a bunch of white dudes stealing shit while a bunch of other white dudes chase after them. Like, I don't care. I think I maybe would have liked this movie had I watched it more. I would have liked it more had I watched it, back in 2010. But yeah, no, it's fine. It's okay. This is definitely like put on the background type of movie, because everything that's going to happen in this movie as soon as it starts. And again, lots of big action set pieces. Apparently I'm just hating on action movies today. And lastly is A Ghost Story. This is a 2017 movie starring Casey Affleck. Wait, Casey Affleck. I thought, no, that was Ben Affleck, right? No, this completely ruins my theme. What the... God damn it. Okay, I did that whole... I watched this movie specifically for that stupid joke. Anyway, this is a 2017 movie starring Casey Affleck and Rooney Mara. Yeah, I crazy loved this movie. It was really, really good. The premise is that title. It's a ghost story. And that is what the ghost looks like. So that's kind of a warning for going into this movie. It is just a dude in a bed sheet. But I think it works really, really well. I mean, it takes a little bit to get used to, but like, it's a really interesting take on doing ghost story type stuff. Just that costume alone. But really, the whole rest of the movie is it's doing a ghost story in such a different way than has been, or at least recently. I can't think of a similar movie to this one. But some more warnings with this movie, because I think there's definitely needs to be some warnings going into this, is that it is very, very, very slow and very, very quiet. Both the leads, Casey Affleck and Rooney Mara, really don't say a whole lot, but they still give very powerful performances, especially with this costume. I think that costume they convey so much emotion just with looks and like small gestures and stuff, and it's really impressive. And I would say what this movie really is about just like different ways of being sad rather than just straight up crying. You see all the emotion, like all of the different emotions of being sad in it, and it's really fascinating. It's not traditionally scary in like the way that regular horror movie type stuff is. It's scary in the sense of like just simply knowing the fact that you're gonna die one day is scary, because that is a really scary thing to think about. And that's the kind of scary this movie is. It definitely has spooks, and it's definitely haunting in like kind of the most like the true definition of that word, haunting. It's so well done, so well shot. I guess if I'm going to do like another like caution thing going into this. So the only thing I knew about this movie going into it was about the bed sheet. That was one. I also knew that it was really good. I heard it was really good. And then I also knew about the pie scene. There's so much stuff about the pie scene. And I think it's a good warning going in that there's a scene with the pie that's kind of ridiculous, but at the same time, it's surprisingly powerful. I really don't want to spoil anything with it, just besides the fact that like going into it, you should probably know that there's a pie scene that's a little weird, but it's just like, it works. You're going to kind of awkwardly laugh at it, sort of, but I was close to tears during it as well. Not to like overhype the scene or anything. But yeah, this is a great movie. Also, if like you're a little worried about some existential dread, and there's definitely a bit of that in this movie as well. But yeah, I loved it. I don't know if you guys are familiar with my format. I usually put the ones I really love at the beginning, but I put this one at the end to make that stupid joke. But yeah, no, this is a great movie. I definitely recommend it. Just be warned, it is definitely super, super, super slow and super quiet. So you gotta be in the right mood for this type of movie. But it is really good, and you're gonna enjoy it.